Hello, my friends. Beautiful Sunday in the Caribbean. Welcome back to my channel. My friends, a desperate president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, begs Africa to please help him. Can you believe that, my friends? The president of Ukraine is desperate. He is now begging the African continent to please help him following the advancement of the Russian troops that has captured significant amount of Ukrainian territory. Now, why is the president of Ukraine doing this? Remember, there's a war in Russia, and Zelenskyy is all over the world. Recently, he was with Donald Trump, the President of the United States, and he would have offered Trump any amount of resources for help. Some say that the plan is that the US will take over half of Ukraine while leaving the other half closest to Russia for Russia. That is the plan, some say, of Trump. But my friends, he is actually begging Africa for help. Now, how can Africa help Ukraine at this point, you may ask? Diplomatic pressure. Remember, Africa holds a number of United Nations seats. The African vote in the United Nations is very important. And Zelenskyy figures, once he has Africa on his side, then that will influence Russia. Because remember, Russia and Africa are very close. So he is out there offering grain. He's offering food to Africa for help. He's out there offering bribes, I am told, to African leaders. Anything that he can to seek the help of Africa. But Africans said, yes, they will take the grain, they will take the food, but they're not getting involved in geopolitical matters, especially matters to do with Russia and Ukraine. Now, my friends, this is very interesting because remember, just some time ago when the war broke loose in Ukraine, there were some African students stranded in Ukraine, and videos were circulating that they cannot get any help. They cannot even get out of the country. Ukrainians were putting their own citizens on buses and shipping them off to Europe for safety, whereas they abandoned the African students there in the country. Now they're back at the same Africa asking for help. And this recent news is circulating, my friends. Let me just give you a background of exactly where this news is coming from, that the president of Ukraine, President Zelenskyy, is begging Africa to please help him. This news, this information started way back in 2022, my friends. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has consistently sought international support to counter Russia's invasion of Ukraine, including appeals to African nations, my friends. As far back as June 2022, he addressed the African Union, aiming to rally the continent's support for Ukraine. However, some African diplomats emphasized their immediate concerns were centered on securing grain and fertilizer supplies rather than engaging in geopolitical disputes. Recognizing the critical importance of food security, Ukraine launched the Grain from Ukraine program in November 2022. Do you guys remember that? Grain from Ukraine program. The real program was grain for help. That is why he offered Africa food. He wanted help. People don't offer things for free, my friends. It's help that man was looking. This initiative aims to supply grain to countries in Africa and Asia facing severe food shortages. That is what they're saying. Such as countries, they're saying they're going to offer food to help support food security in Ethiopia, Sudan, and Somalia. In early 2024, the program had delivered significant shipments, including 25,000 tons of wheat to Nigeria and 30,000 tons to Kenya, underscoring Ukraine's commitment to support vulnerable population amidst ongoing conflicts. That is what they're saying, my friends. We know Africa don't need anybody for food. Look at all that fertile land in Africa. Nigeria produces the most yams in the world. Corn, meat, fish. Namibia export meat to Europe. South Africa exports citrus fruit to Europe and America. The African countries that export food to Europe and America. Africa don't need any grain. What Africa need is organization. Countries coming together and developing their vast lands, fertile lands. Africa has the most fertile lands in the world. One country in Africa, Congo, DRC Congo, can feed the whole world. They have fertile lands, rain all year round, rich soil, minerals. They can feed the whole world. So Africa don't need any food. I was in Uganda. There I was told they have 2 rainy seasons. When I was there last year in Uganda, check that video out in my playlist, my Uganda playlist. I see food for miles upon miles on the road. Fish, meat, chicken, bananas, watermelon, yams, sweet potato, you name it. Food in galore. Africa don't need any food. But they're trying to put this story like, oh, Ukraine is trying to support vulnerable populations in Africa. Nothing Targoso. They're looking food for help from Russia. That is what this is about, my friends. In September 2024, Zelenskyy addressed the United Nations Security Council, urging a coalition of nations, including those of Africa, Latin America, and Asia, to pressure Russia into seeking peace. He highlighted Russia's violation of international law and called for a unified global response to the end of the aggression. These efforts reflected President Zelenskyy's strategy to engage African countries and a broader international community, not only to secure support against Russian aggression, but also to address the global challenges like food security and conflict. Now tell me, Ukraine was there all these years, never care less about food security in Africa. Now all of a sudden, they're talking about, oh, they want to send food to Africa to help vulnerable populations. Now that they are about to be taken over by Russia, they are seeking the support of Africa. Well, I say, my friends, Africa is in no position right now to help any European country. Let Europe help themselves. They have stolen enough land and resources. They have all the gold and money in the world. Let them send money to Ukraine. Let America send trillions of dollars to Ukraine. Let Europe send trillions of euros and pounds to Ukraine. Africa is staying neutral in this war, my friends. Nobody is going to take advantage of Africa. If you're watching this video for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. The mission of this channel is to bridge that gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. We are one people separated by a brutal European slave trade and colonialism. But we are coming back together as one. I bring greetings to you, my friends, from the African diaspora of the Caribbean nations. And I say to you, we are stronger than ever. We are mightier than ever. Powerful force to be reckoned with worldwide. We are a global community, the African diaspora and the African continent. The African diaspora makes up the Caribbean nations, African Americans, Afro-Canadians, Afro-British, Afro-Europeans, Africans in South America. We are one people. And of course, the 54 massive, great African countries on the continent of Africa. Nothing can stop us, my friends, once we work together as one. Nothing. We have all the land in the world, we have all the resources. We can plant any amount of food in the Caribbean, any amount of food in Africa. We have the sea, we have the hills, we have year-round sunshine. We have strong, intelligent people, the youngest population in the world, the most resources in the world, the most loving and kind people in the world, the most beautiful chocolate skin people in the world. Nothing, my friends, can stop us once we work together as one. Now, how did this problem started in Ukraine is that years ago, Russia warned NATO not to expand closer to its border. Ukraine separates Russia from Western Europe, like Germany, France, Spain, the UK, those countries. Ukraine stands right next to Russia. So Europe agreed we're not going to expand. They started to expand and expand. They reached up to Poland, and then they started to talk about that they want Ukraine to join the European Union and NATO. Well, they already signed a deal to say they will never do that. But the president of Russia said they betrayed him and went back on their deal and started setting up bases right next to his border there. So, to protect the fatherland of Russia, that is why Russia invaded Ukraine, to stop NATO from surrounding Russia. There is no way the US would allow Russia to set up military bases and any military equipment around Mexico, the border of Mexico. That will never happen. Mexico to the United States is how Russia is to Ukraine. Ukraine is right on the border of Russia. So that is how this conflict started, my friends. How it's going to end? I am told that President Donald Trump of the USA is saying to Zelenskyy he wants minerals in Ukraine. Ukraine have a lot of minerals too. He wants rare earth minerals in Ukraine, a lot of it, in order to provide military support to Ukraine. So some say the United States plan is to take half of Ukraine, the half closest to Western Europe, like Germany and France and Italy, that half closest to there, and leave the other half for Russia. That is the plan. So Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin They may strike a deal and end this war. If you hear there's a deal and the war is going to end, then, my friends, that deal, I am certain, would be the United States would capture half of Ukraine and the other half will be left to Ukraine, with Zelenskyy gone from power, my friends. There will be a new Ukraine. That is the only how I see Russia would strike any deal with Donald Trump and the USA and Europe at this point, because Russia has Ukraine right where they want them now. That is why you see Zelenskyy is all over the world panicking in a desperate move to secure last-minute support to keep out the Russians. But it's too late now, my friends. It's far too late. If you enjoy watching this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like the video, share it with all your friends and family, and most importantly, please comment your thoughts on what you think about the desperate move by Ukraine President Zelenskyy begging Africa to please help me, Africa. Let me know what you think about that move by Ukraine. Is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? And I am told that I have some breaking news which I may talk to you about tomorrow in the next video, my friends. The president of DRC Congo, Felix, is offering Donald Trump and the USA vast amount of resources for protection. Remember, the M23 freedom fighters is heading towards Kinshasa. They have captured Goma, the city of Goma already. They're heading towards Kinshasa. So the president of DRC Congo is offering DRC Congo on a platter vast amounts of resources to America for protection. That story, my friends, I will talk about tomorrow in the next video. Thank you for watching. My name is Beyond. This is Beyond Uncut. Please you can also consider becoming a member of my channel by clicking the link in this description box. Your membership will help in the journey of bridging that gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. I also have a travel channel. The link is in this description box. Check that channel out as well and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Thanks for all of your support, all of your super chats, your donations. I appreciate all your love and support, and most importantly, thank you for subscribing and watching all of my videos every day, day after day. My name is Beyond. This is Beyond Uncut, and I appreciate your love and support, my friends. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you again tomorrow, Monday, in the next video, where we will talk about DRC Congo selling out the great country of Congo to America by offering it Donald Trump vast amounts of resources for protection, my friends. See you tomorrow in the next video.